What's up, wrestling fans, trading card collectors? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Cards. Today we're looking at part 6 of the 1995 WCW Main Event card set. Let's get it! So as we go forward in this card set series of the 95 WCW Main Event cards, some of these videos may be getting a little bit longer. The way that the card sets are put together, I don't want to break those up. I want to keep them together. You'll see what I'm talking about in upcoming videos. So these may be a little bit longer, 10 minutes or so. Just stick with us. And we're going to get nasty right off the bat with the Nasty Boys. Well, Brian Knobbs at least. Such a great card. Knobbs, of course, being the other half of the Nasty Boys, which we went over Sags in the last card in the last video of that part of the set. This is a real gem here. I mean, just look at his face. And then look at the face of his opponent, which appears to be the Equalizer or Evad or Dave Sullivan, whatever he was going by at the time, which we'll talk about him later on in this video. This picture is just perfect for a wrestling card, in my opinion. It's hilarious. It's entertaining. Still gets the point across that Brian Knobbs is a tough dude that you don't want to mess with or you get caught in the leg lock. Brian's a blonde, nasty boy, and just as vicious as his tag team partner, Jerry Sags. Except I don't think Knobbs is missing teeth. We may not be sparkling examples of physical fitness or fashion plates. Hey, I take exception to that. Look at those awesome glasses and those airbrush dusters. These guys are the epitome of fashion, in my opinion. Sorry, I'll get back to the reading. But we know our jobs. The nastiest our opponent, said Brian, scratching his armpits. Home of the famous pit stop. Nasty, gross, finishing move. Cool card, though. Love those glasses. Card number 27 in the set, Kevin Sullivan. Now, I love Kevin Sullivan. Ultimate brawler, was in ECW, Florida Championship Wrestling, the Taskmaster, the Devil Man. He's just interesting character for the time. However, this card sucks. I hate this card. Like, what kind of shot is this? It's hard to tell who he's pinning. I think based on the face paint here and the Scorpion, it's Sting. So, it's too bad that Kevin Sullivan had a first WCW card that was this crappy. Diabolical at best, psychotic at the very least. Certainly warped. Kevin Sullivan is the most deranged wrestler in WCW. Just ask his brother Dave. Hey, we were just talking about him a minute ago. Who he turned against in '94. But Kevin certainly can perform in the ring, and he has won numerous titles. I actually don't remember him winning any titles in WCW. Maybe he had won some titles in the territory days. But just too bad they couldn't have given him a cooler card. Card number 28 in the set, Vader, Big Van Vader. Now we're talking. Great shot of Vader doing what he does best, bullying people, making jobbers look silly. I love how he's attacking this guy during his entrance, and you're getting to see the Mastodon smoke spraying up right in the jobber's face. And it's just still smoking. He's just letting it keep going as he's beating this guy away. Always loved Vader. Always thought he was an awesome heel, even though you're not supposed to love the heels. This guy's just menacing. Vader's a monster pretending to be a wrestler, Bobby the Brain Heenan has said. And how true. The 6'5", 450-pound Vader is a super heavyweight and moves like a kitten. Accurate. Kind of like Bam Bam Bigelow. Which, I believe they were partners in Japan. Sorry, I'll get back to reading. Intimidation is his forte, and fear is not in his vocabulary. Also accurate. Unless he gets slapped by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
I am Mr. Wonderful.
Card number 29 in the set, and probably the most important card in the set. Stunning Steve Austin. Steve Austin, first official trading card. I am considering this his rookie card. If you haven't watched the rookie card video, you can go check that link out there. And I talk a little bit about Steve Austin's cards, Hulk Hogan, how they compare in the sports card world. This is the first official pack-pulled card you could get of Steve Austin, despite there being a magazine card and a gaming card through the Chromie set. But just a great shot of him jumping off the top ropes, which we wouldn't get to see a lot going forward in his career. I'm guessing the injuries kind of caught up with him. He became more of a brawler, grappler. Great shot of him jumping off the top rope, though. I've always been a big Steve Austin fan, even when he was in the USWA. But even I never thought that he would get to where he got in the wrestling world, being one of the biggest draws of all time. I mean, look, he's in the ring with Sting in this card, who at the time is one of the biggest stars in the business. And just a few years earlier, would surpass, or a few years later, I should say, would surpass Sting in popularity and go on to be, if not the biggest, one of the top 3 biggest drawing wrestling stars in history. So there. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all? Stunning Steve Austin will tell you he is. Actually, that's accurate. He was a true fortune teller, apparently. If he ever stops admiring himself, well, okay. Stunning Steve has become a dominant force in the 1990s with singles and tag team titles. I've talked about him teaming with Brian Pillman as the Hollywood Blondes. That's one of my favorite WCW tag teams of all time. So, very cool card. Watch for this to pick up in value in the years going forward. Card number 30 in the set, Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright.
Hallo, hier ist Alex Wright. Wenn ihr High-Flying Wrestling-Action wollt, den Spinning Sidekick, den Top-Turnbuckle Dropkick, dann nehmt mich und der Sieg ist euch sicher, ich verspreche euch.
And we go from one of the most iconic rookie cards in the set to another rookie card that probably nobody cares about but Alex Wright and his mom and dad. This shot is okay, I guess. I don't know why they didn't use one of his ring entrances when he was dancing and had the leather jacket, which is what he became known for. That would have been a more iconic shot than him actually trying to show off wrestling. He was a good wrestler. I didn't mind the gimmick. I thought it fit for the time, but a lot of people just didn't like it. James Dean, eat your heart out. You too, John Travolta. Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright, has captured the hearts of hundreds since arriving in WCW from his native Germany. At 19, he is the country's youngest pro wrestler. And he was really good for being that young. I just think he didn't really get over with that gimmick as the dancing kid. So, yeah. Card number 31 in the set, Avalanche. Yes, John Tenta, Earthquake, whatever you want to call him. Just another lame gimmick that Tenta got saddled with in WCW. First WCW card, but at this point, I'm not sure many people really care about his career because he really got to the top as Earthquake in WWF. Move him over to WCW, they just wanted to saddle him with all kinds of bad gimmicks, whether it was the Shark or Avalanche or I can't even remember what else he was called. But okay shot, I guess. Just feel bad for the guy because he was a pretty good wrestler. And going forward, I, as well as many others, probably just stopped caring about his career due to these bad gimmicks. 516-pound Avalanche is one of the deadliest forces in WCW, an instant pancake maker. Oh, of course, he eats a lot of pancakes too, I'm sure. Despite his size, he has surprising quickness. Former undefeated sumo competitor, 24-0, Avalanche is a predator on the loose, Hulk Hogan has said. Probably just saying that because they've already done this in WWF. Rehashing the past. Except with worse gimmicks. Card number 32, The Butcher. Horrible, horrible, horrible card. That's what I have to say about this card. I was a Beefcake fan in the WWF, and I could say that I did dig him as the disciple in the NWO, but overall, he had terrible gimmicks in WCW, and I didn't think was that great of a wrestler. I mean, look at these gimmicks. Zodiac, Booty Man, really? WCW is definitely something else during this time period with these gimmicks. The name says it all. Butcher, in late 1994, not only turned against his long friend Hulk Hogan, but stabbed him in the back in the process. Still, he's an accomplished wrestler. Butcher is the master of the sleeper hold. Can you believe they put Butcher and Hogan in a Starrcade main event? Unbelievable. Well, I apologize for hitting such a lull in some of these cards. Some of these cards in this video have been really terrible. But we're going to come back with this one. Ho! USA! Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Look at this card. What a card. I loved Jim Duggan when he was in Mid-South in the 80s. But to be honest, I was never really a fan of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I get it. People love him, and that's cool. And that being said, this is a great card. This sums up everything you would want to see about Jim Duggan. Perfect shot, the flag, the pose, the United States title on top of that. It's like the ultimate American Hacksaw Jim Duggan card. Perfect picture. One of the better cards in the set, despite me not being as big a fan of the wrestler. Jim Duggan is in town with a 2x4 and American flag in hand. The pride and joy of Glen Falls, New York. Hacksaw's held the U.S. title in 94, and he was a stand-up football player at Southern Methodist University. Tough guy. Last card in today's video, card number 34 in the set, Dave Sullivan. I talked about him earlier. He was gimmicked with being Kevin Sullivan's like half-brother or some sort of brother. I can't remember if it was half, step, full, whatever. It doesn't really matter because I don't have much to say about this card. Technically, it's rookie card, but again, like, I don't know too many people looking for Dave Sullivan rookie cards. Never a big fan of the character, although I did like his gimmick when he was the #1 Hulkamaniac, #1 Hulk Hogan fan. He was a okay wrestler, I guess. Just not a great photo being used and not that great of a character. Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison, he's not. Forrest Gump, maybe. That's actually really funny. Dave Sullivan's a likable half of the Sullivan family members, brother of Evil Kevin. Dave's an imposing figure, 6'6", 305. Arm wrestled Diamond Dallas Page in 95. Yeah, they put him and Diamond Dallas Page arm wrestling during this. Did that say 95? Yes, 1995. So in 95, WCW's got The Butcher, Avalanche, Dave Sullivan, and DDP arm wrestling. That's going to put some butts in the seats. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying this WCW main event card set. 95 is an interesting time for WCW. I'm hoping my commentary on these cards can kind of put some of that into context perspective. So maybe you'll appreciate some more, learn more, just have a good time with these wrestling cards. If you enjoy this video and the other videos in the series or all my other videos on my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my uploads while you're there. Social media links, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that's there. If you want to support the show, possibly buy something you've seen on the show, or buy a gift for somebody. Hey, everybody likes cards and collectibles and gimmicks. Beast Mode Collectibles on eBay. Check out my cards and Mercari. And until next time, see you wrestling fans and Evad Sullivan fans.